Welcome to Planet of NY Sports. Here we talk Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, and a little bit of the Knicks and Nets. So, this is probably one of the most anticipated videos in our channel's very short history. The Giants are facing the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. Before we get into, our big juicy topics, I would like our new guys to kind of just introduce themselves a little. So, Weston, you can go first.
All right. First off, I want to thank you for having me on this podcast. It's a blessing, honestly. My name is Weston. I've been a Vikings fan since around 2007, back when Adrian Peterson was first a rookie. It's been heartbreak up and down, but this season has been probably the funnest season I've watched it, like as my history as a Vikings fan. And yeah, I'm just ready to just talk whatever and see like what is going to happen to this upcoming playoff game between the Vikings and the Giants.
All right, cool. Now we also have a new Giants fan on. Do you want to introduce yourself? He's wearing that drippy Eli Manning jersey. All right.
I'm Gerson. I've been a Giants fan for quite a while sometimes. I think Victor Cruz is he's kind of like my idol growing up. So, I grew up watching him, destroy the Eagles and stuff. Obviously being a Giants fan these recent years, it was kind of rough. So, I'm glad to see we're back on track here. And, I'm trying to see if we can make it go far this season.
Yeah, thank you. So, all right, and Sam, I know people already know you, but you're actually on camera, so you don't have to introduce yourself. But actually, no, go ahead. Just introduce yourself again, since people are seeing you for the first.
So yeah, unfortunately, I am Ginger. For those of you that have obviously not seen me before, so sorry in advance. You have to stare at a ginger person for the next however long we're going to be talking for. But yeah, I don't know how well you can hear me because I've decided I'm actually going to be on my laptop today, which could either be a complete disaster or not. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I've been a Vikings fan since for a few years now. Obviously, I'm from the UK, and I got into American football after my football team, well, as you guys call it, soccer team came over and did a bit of training in Minnesota and had a few sessions over at TCO Performance Center, and I've been following the team since, and only started really watching them after the weekend's halftime show. So thank you, The Weekend.
All right. So let's get into the injury report because, as we know, football, game of injuries, and both teams will be getting some key guys back. So, Alex, can you just give me the Giants injury report real quick?
All right. So as of 112, the Giants injury report. So who was limited was Adoree Jackson. We know he's coming back from his injury. We have Marcus Johnson, Evan Neal, Azeez Ojulari, Jason Pinnock, and then Leonard Williams. And then for full, we have two key players, which is John Feliciano, and then we have Xavier McKinney, who we know just came back recently.
All right, cool. So Roderick, do you have the Vikings injury report?
Yeah, I do. So speaking of getting a key player back, we're looking to get Garrett Bradbury back at center. He was limited on Wednesday, but was a full participant yesterday. And OC Wes Phillips talked about how good he looked and how he thinks that Bradbury should be able to play on Sunday, which is much needed because the Vikings have had a revolving door around the interior offensive line for a pretty long time now. So getting Bradbury back is huge for the Vikings. And besides that, no major injuries to report.
Okay. So that is good for both sides, especially, for the Giants. Adoree Jackson, he is definitely on track to play this game, and Bradbury too. It is looking like he's going to be on track to play this game as well. But we'll get into that more because there is a few key points that I would like to bring up about that. But okay, all right. Let's get into the meat of this here. All right. So Avi. What do you want to start off with? How do you think this game is going to go? Just no predictions, but just give me a feel for your take on this game, Avi.
All right. I think it will be an upset and the Giants will win because we almost beat them on Christmas Eve. I'm just saying. We almost beat them on Christmas Eve. That's mine.
That's your prediction? Okay. All right. That's definitely reasonable. Now, Sam, how do you think this game is going to shape up? Last time you were correct in, your prediction. So let's see. Are you going to be right again? What is your prediction? Well, not the score, but
I mean, I've been saying in the group chat for the last couple of weeks we're either going to win this game or absolutely get blown out, and I'm hoping obviously we're going to win it. But again, the playoffs are a game of close score games, and well, we're 11-0 in one score games this season, so I'm going to back us to win because I mean, A, I'm a Vikings fan, but B, I think the stats are in our favor.
Okay. So just going off the point of you guys getting blown out, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that because with the Giants, we don't blow teams out. Let's just let's start that off right here. We do not blow anybody out except the Colts, but that's not saying much. Well, I do know the 33-0, but that's different. That's different. The Colts, they're the lowly Colts. Let's be real here. I'm not going to give them points for that. Everybody else, the Giants, it's usually close. Even versus the Texans, that game was kind of close. So you don't have to worry about that. I do see this. I can see it coming back down to a last-second field goal. Maybe I'm not going to give my prediction yet because maybe it'll be a hot take. Maybe it'll surprise some people. Could I be trying to jinx one team? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But Kirsten, how do you think this game is going to
go? Really, I think this is going to be a close game. Definitely, I don't think it's going to be a one-sided game. I think, both teams have good offensive weapons. You got the Giants with Saquon and Daniel Jones, and you got Isaiah Hodgins, all those, and then you obviously have the best wide receiver in the league, Justin Jefferson. You have good above average quarterback, Kirk Cousins, TJ Hawkinson. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a close game, but I do think my Giants will pull it off. I think Brian Dable hyping up the guys in the locker room, and I think they're going to come out with the confidence and beat them at their own turf.
Okay. And Weston, how do you think this game is going to go?
So I do think, just like a lot of the Vikings games this season, this is going to be another one-score game. However, it's going to be different. So I do think so. I saw a report that Ed Donatello is probably going to switch up the schemes a little bit. It's honestly another Christmas miracle if that's the case. I mean, Ed Donatello is what I like to call him, not change up anything. He did say he's going to, have the players kind of work defense by themselves a little bit, maybe come up schemes on their own, which if that's the case, hallelujah. But I think the defense is going to do a little bend but not break. Like the Giants will have drives, but I think the Giants will only get one trip into the end zone and everything else is going to be field goals. Still going to be a one possession game. I think it's going to come down to the final drive. The Giants might get around the Minnesota 40-yard line, and Jones is either going to throw a pick to either Patrick Peterson or Karen Bynum, and Minnesota will win by a score of 8 points is my prediction.
Okay. All right. So Alex, but how do you think this game is going to go? I think everyone is pretty much saying the same thing, but what's your take?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm on the rails with Garrison. I feel like it will definitely be a close game because, you saw the last time that these teams played, it really came down to a 61-yard field goal. And I feel like we can win against them. I feel like we can beat them. Now that we have Xavier McKinney and hopefully we'll have Adoree Jackson back. And I feel like with that'll definitely boost our defense and hopefully we can get more stops and then, take the win.
Yeah, for sure. So now one point I just want to bring up here. The Giants are they're in the playoffs for the first time since this photo. So hopefully nobody went on a boat. Hopefully nobody, Xavier McKinney didn't take any vacations and break his other hand for all we care. Hopefully none of that happened. Please, no partying, no none of that. No going out with Justin Bieber. Please, just do not do that. So now let's get into the juiciness of this. Roderick, do you have any hot takes for this game?
Yeah, my hot take is the Vikings win by 41 points. A total score of 41-0. And That's really it. I felt like certain times throughout the season, I felt like I could feel what was going to happen, and right now I'm feeling a absolute blowout. So if that's a hot take, take it as that. But it's Vikings by 41, and yeah, that's it.
Gerson, what is your take on that? On Roderick's hot take?
I mean, that's kind of tough talk coming from a team who, resorted to a 61 yarder week 16. I think, you know, I think my hot take has got to be Kirk Cousins is going to flop this game. I think, Dexter Lawrence, they're going to I think we're just going to absolutely crumble the Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins is going to get pressured. I think Justin Jefferson, obviously, you can't lock him up. We have no Jair Alexander. But I think we're going to limit Kirk Cousins and his ability, and I think the Giants will, towards the third quarter, maybe we'll start running away with the game. Um, I think Kirk Cousins, throws for less than 300, throws maybe a pick or two. I think our defense will just lock up Kirk Cousins.
Okay, Sam, do you have any hot takes?
Before I get into my hot take, I've come prepared with my stats. I just want to pick up on that Kirk Cousins, the fact that someone thinks Kirk Cousins is going to crumble. So, Kirk has been clutch this season, right? He has been pressured the fifth highest in the league, right? Pressured on 38.4% of his dropbacks this season, and he's ended up taking 46 sacks. However, he's still throwing for 29 touchdowns. He's still thrown for 4,500 passing yards. And at the end of the day, what was our record? The team didn't get to that record without, with Nick Mullins at quarterback. We had Kirk Cousins at quarterback, and whether you think he's mid, Kirk Cousins at the end of the day got to 13-4. So yeah, he's had a few games where the pressure has been too much. The Cowboys game, but at the end of the day, you don't get to 13-4 without being clutch. But on that, my hot take is that Kirk Cousins is going to prove why he should have been or should be in the conversation for MVP this year.
Wow. Okay, that definitely is a hot take. Avi, do you have any hot takes?
All right, my hot take is Kirk Cousins will get taken down at least 5 times this game. Just 5, Yeah. And the Giants will win by 10 points.
10 points. That's something. Weston, any hot takes? Is Weston's screen messed up? Weston, your screen is kind of messed up. So I'll come back to you. Alex, do you have any hot takes for this game?
All right, I have the hottest take. All right, so I'm predicting that Kenny Galladay will get 300 yards with 5 touchdowns. That's my hot take right now. That's my hot take.
Kenny Galladay? Kenny Galladay? Oh, whoa. All right, okay, hold on. Let's calm down here. Let's calm down here.
Okay, sorry about that. My phone kind of messed up for a second. I'm back.
No,
running.
it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Weston, I'll get to you in a second. I just want to go off of Alex's take about Kenny Galladay getting 5 touchdowns. Here, look, I'm a big Giants fan, but I don't know if I would be saying all of that. Kenny Galladay, he literally got his first touchdown against the Eagles. I know, sure, that was nice and all. We were all cheering and stuff, acting crazy. But who cares? The guy, I don't even know if he's going to be playing that much. I don't think he's going to be getting, playing time over guys like Hodges. And Richie, say what you want about Richie James, he did probably cost us that game against the Vikings. But still, I think, Roderick's brother's back. But anyways, Richie James, he does have a good connection with Daniel Jones. The stats are literally there. He does drop the ball a lot. You can't put him on special teams. Don't do that either. But I think, Kenny Galladay getting 5 touchdowns, that's kind of crazy. Dare I say delusional, but who knows? So Weston, do you have any hot takes?
So I don't know how the other Vikings fans are going to feel about this. Giants fans, you can say what you want. So I say receiving wise, it's going to be KJ Osborne who has the big day. And I'll explain why. So when it comes to a lot of the blowout losses, like people tend to point at, yeah, it's because teams like to limit Justin Jefferson, which if you actually look into the picture, that really isn't the case. The case has been the O-line has not given Kirk enough time to pass the ball. So, of course, he's not going to be able to throw it to Justin Jefferson. So no one's really locking him down. But even then, like, the Giants are probably going to double team him throughout the game. But this is what I've seen. When Jefferson's getting locked up, who's the other target he can throw to besides Hawkinson? He's going to go to KJ Osborne. Like the Colts comeback. Who was the main guy that really sparked the comeback in the first place? It was KJ Osborne. I think he had like 150 yards and a touchdown that game. Don't know the actual stats on the top of my head. So I say Justin Jefferson's going to get at max maybe like 80 to 90 yards. He might get a touchdown, but at the end of the day, I think KJ Osborne is going to have a 100-plus yard receiving day, and he'll get a score on top of that.
Okay. So we definitely had some interesting hot takes. There's some like I could see being a little realistic, some more than not. Alex, I don't know about that one. Roderick, yours is completely asinine. But literally, I think I could see where Sam was going with Kirk, possibly, maybe, proving why he should be in the MVP conversation. Me personally, I can see that. Kirk Cousins, I know we've been getting on him the past few years. Primetime Kirk, blah, blah, blah. No, this game is at 4, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays because, well, but the Giants, like I said, we don't blow anybody out, so you don't have to really worry about, us coming in there like another NFC East team and, beating you guys 40-3. You don't have to worry about that. Trust me, because we can't even get to 40 points. So, Alex, do you think Kirk Cousins could have a really big game?
I think that it is possible. I feel like, like you said, we are hard on Kirk Cousins, but, is he can prove, I feel like Sam's take was like realistic. Like he can prove this game why he can be in talks with the MVP race. Cause I feel like even if we walk down Justin Jefferson, or TJ Hawkinson, like Weston said too, they still have, KJ Osborne, they still have other threats that they can go to. And I feel like as long as the O-line gives them enough time to throw, then he should be good. But I don't think it's gonna happen, with our sexy Dexy and, our D line.
Yeah, and just, talk about like the Vikings weapons. The Vikings, they got all these guys. And then when you look at the Giants, let's be real here. We don't have a lot of talent. I know I say it every single week, but we do not. We really don't have like that true number one receiver. We don't have the weapons that the Vikings do. So if the Giants do get in like a shootout situation, you are probably not winning that game. I don't think you are, given the Vikings weapons, because even if you do, let's say you limit Jefferson, which I will get into like how the Giants can do that. Even if you do, they still got KJ Osborne, Adam Thielen, Hawkinson, like they got all these guys. So it is going to be tough, but we'll see. So now, does anyone have any keys to victory before I do mine? Anyone can go first. I don't really care. So
I guess I can go. So the two Vikings keys to victory I mentioned before, the offensive line. Like ever since the Buffalo game, when Christian Darrisaw got the concussion, we had a few other injuries. Like Kirk, like throughout the few games after the Buffalo Miracle, hasn't had much time to pass. So it kind of like he gets sacked a lot, he gets hit a lot, and it causes turnovers and fumbles. But another thing about the offensive line is the run game has been kind of in a downward slope since the Buffalo game. Like all of a sudden, we had first and goal on the Green Bay one a few weeks ago. They handed off to Dalvin, but in my opinion, Madison should have got one of those carries, but I digress. Lost yards on those downs, which led to a field goal. Like Cook hasn't gotten anything because there's been nothing for him to run through. And I guess he's not really as aggressive as Madison. So, yeah, the offensive line is going to be a key. They have to fill the holes, or they have to create the holes for the running backs to go through. They have to create a nice little pocket for Kirk to have time. And, of course, the defense. Are we going to get the defense that held Green Bay to 7 points in week 1? Or are we going to get the typical defense that's allowed 25.1 points per game, which is the 4th worst out of all 32 teams in the NFL? If what Ed Donashell, and I will call him Donashell, I don't care what his name is, if this man keeps his promise and allows the defense to change up a little bit to confuse the Giants, make Daniel Jones confused, get a couple turnovers here and there, then that could be a huge key to winning the game. Because with an explosive offense, you have to have a reliable defense.
That was good. That was really good. Let's see. Avi, do you have any keys to victory?
If the Giants want to win, you got to throw that ball. I mean, the Vikings' run defense is not so good. And, it proved on that play when we were down by 8 and it was like 4th and 3. And, Saquon took it right up the middle for the touchdown. And then, the 2-point conversion to tie the game. But we don't talk about what happened after the game. We're going to talk about what happened after that, But you got to run the ball. Oh, God. You got to run the ball, throw the ball, let DJ take chances, and Giants can come up with an upset.
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
Just no.
There's always this guy. Okay, Roderick, why do you disagree with that? Why do you disagree with that?
Because, well, for starters, we have one of the better run defenses in the league by statistics. I believe we're holding running backs to less than 3.5 yards per carry. That's the first thing. The second thing is our defensive line has been injured for majority of the year. We've had to play guys like Kyrus Tonga and guys like Jonathan Bullard. But now we're getting Dalvin Tomlinson back, Giants legend. We're getting James Lynch back in there. We're getting Zadarius Smith at full health. So I think Saquon gets shut down. I think we force Daniel Jones to throw, and I think he gets picked off twice. I don't think that the Giants have any chance of winning this game. But, yeah, that's a key to victory. Stop Saquon and let Kirk cook. Simple as that.
Gerson, do you agree with Roderick's take there?
I don't know about Daniel Jones throwing 2 picks because I mean, he's been careful with the ball. He hasn't thrown too many picks. I think my keys to victory. We have a fully rested Saquon, the same Saquon who went off for I think 6 yards a carry, week 16. I think another key is that the Vikings are starting a backup right tackle. I think Kayvon is going to destroy that guy and he's going to pressure Kirk, like I said earlier. We have Adoree Jackson potentially coming back. We have Xavier McKinney. I think our defense is much better than it was 3 weeks ago. And, one thing I am concerned about is that Kirk Cousins leads the league in game-winning drives. I think we can't let him get the ball fourth quarter clutch situation because Kirk Cousins, he's clutch. You give this guy time, he's going to do something. I think our defense needs to lock it down this week. I think, we can't give up another game-winning drive. That'll be a bigger heartbreak. But yeah, I think we need to really step it up on defense, whether it's the line, the O line, the D line, anyone. We just need to play good. I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Because Kurt, he is very clutch. I'll give him that. The guy is a top 10 QB. There you go, Roderick. Are you happy? We really cannot let, 2 minutes left. Kirk has the vote. I'm going to be please. We just cannot get into that scenario because I don't think it's going to bode well for us personally, especially with the Vikings home field advantage too. They're going to have the crowd on their side. I don't really see how we're going to win that type of football game. Alex, do you have any keys to victory?
I feel like I'm kind of just along the same lines. Like Gerson said, it's not the same team that we faced with them 3 weeks ago, but that doesn't mean, that it's going to be any easier necessarily. We just have to keep doing what we were doing. I mean, in the beginning of the last game we played them, in the first quarter or so, we weren't really doing that good offensively. We were throwing picks, we were giving up easy chances. And I feel like we can give DJ chances, but I feel like at the same time, we also need to be not completely, but a little bit conservative of what we throw because, it's like the playoffs. It's not just a random week 16 or week 15 game that we can just give up and then move on to the next week. So I feel like if we can get the run game going, we should probably do that too. Because you don't want to either be primarily running it the whole time or throwing it the whole time. You want to kind of mix it up. And I feel like as long as we can do that, then we can get out for the W.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Sam, I know you have a ton of stats. and a ton of, so you can do the keys to victory. And then also, I know you have some more stats. You can get into that after too.
Oh, most kind. Oh, I've just dropped my pen. So I'll start off with my keys to victory, and then when it comes to it, I'll bring out my my Kirk propaganda. But I've got two, mainly backing up what Weston said. I think the run game has really got to sort itself out. I like Dalvin, but at key times this season, it's been Alexander Mattison that's been getting the grind, getting the yards in. And Dalvin really needs to step up. I can't remember who said it, but someone on Good Morning Football said that everyone needs to step up. It can't just be Kirk Cousins. It can't just be Justin Jefferson. We're not a two-man team. Dalvin Cook really needs to start, fighting for more yardage, not just going down. And he needs to protect the ball better. And the second thing, the defense needs to get off the field quicker, because here we go, my stats. Vikings defense is on the field for the 7th longest period of time with 38 minutes. That is over half of a football game, across the whole season. But strangely enough, when it comes to third down, we've got the 12th best third down defense. I don't know how that works, but realistically, the defense needs to get off the field quicker, because you can't expect the offense to put up points if you're staying on the field for such a long period of time. And when you're I know there's 32 teams in the league, but being 17th for period of time on the field is not good enough for a defense that was supposed to be new and revolutionized under Ed Donatel. And if he changes his scheme, great. Let's see what it does. But the defense has really got to get off the field quicker, and Dalvin has got to sort his game out.
Yeah, for sure. Dalvin Cook has been a little, I would say, like, inconsistent this year. Now, okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I do have a plan to kind of limit Jefferson. Not like it, it may not matter though, because the Vikings have a plethora of other weapons to use. But I'm just gonna go over it here. So, Avi, Roderick, you do have 25 push-ups to do from our bet, by the way. But I digress. You can do it at the end of the video. So here we go. So basically, this is cover 6. So I'm going to explain it right now. So the cover 6 is it's like a mixture of cover 4 from like one side of the field and cover 2 to the other side. So like usually this can fluctuate like depending on like a team's scheme or their personnel. So the Giants, they're going to have, their secondary pieces back, like with Adoree Jackson, Xavier McKinney. So that's going to be big. So now you're probably going to be like, okay, how can the Giants, stop Jefferson? He had, 12 catches for 133 yards, whatever that was, and like a touchdown. So this is what you can do. The Green Bay Packers, they also did follow like a similar approach. I know we don't have a Jair Alexander, but still in week 17, they understood how good Jefferson was. And, they basically limit him to one catch for 15 yards. And Wink Martindale, he used this against Washington at 1.2. And the Packers, they used cover 6 against the Miami Dolphins when they were actually able to limit Tyreek Hill that game too. So I'm just making the point here. Do I think it's going to basically, matter in the long run of things, given the Vikings' other weapons? Probably not. But you really don't want Jefferson to have another big game against you, because at times when the Giants did use cover 6, Jefferson only had 1 reception. So I just wanted to bring that up. Now, next, I'm probably was going to say maybe force the Vikings to run a little more, or, make them put the ball in Dalvin Cook's hand, because all three of our Vikings fans here have said, Dalvin Cook, he's been, kind of this year, and he's had better years. I think we can all agree on that. Dalvin Cook has definitely had way better seasons than this one. And so basically, but against this cover 6 look, Dalvin Cook, he did average 6.6 yards per carry. So that is going to be something. So it's going to be interesting to see, with O'Connell, if he's going to adjust to what Wink Martindale is going to give him. And simply put, the Vikings ranked 24th in offensive rush EPA, which is expected points added, and it's like basically describes how many points on average a team is able to like score, on a possession in like a certain field position. So basically, the Vikings, they've been pretty inconsistent in terms of running the ball, especially like with Dalvin Cook. Madison has been, more of like that go-to guy, that has, you can argue, has been better in spots. So I think if the Giants can basically, force them to do that, it'll be interesting to see. And also win the turnover battle. So like, Roderick's prediction, basically Daniel Jones, throw picks, blah, blah, blah. Let's be real here. The Giants, the last game, they did not win the turnover battle. We didn't. We had a lost fumble by Bellinger. Daniel Jones did throw a pick, but Daniel Jones has been good at taking care of the ball this year. Vanilla Vic, we see it right here. Five picks. In years past, Vanilla Vic, he's been a turnover machine. This year, he's limit that, and I think it's really good when Brian Dable. We saw it when he just got in his face the first game of the year and stuff. I think Daniel Jones is probably scared to turn the ball over now, but you're not. If you do, have the same situation as the last game, 2 turnovers, I don't know if you're going to win that game because this Vikings team, like, can Kirk throw a pick? Yeah, sure. But with our secondary, I don't really trust guys like Fabian Moreau and stuff. I really don't. And I really hope Fabian Moreau is not on Justin Jefferson like the entire game, because if that's the case, you guys can keep throwing it to him because Moreau's I don't know. Against big receivers this year, he has not been great. So now, does anyone else have any other topics they would like to go over?
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to come in here and I'd like to talk about Kirk Cousins. My name, Kirk for MVP. Why can't he get MVP, right? Since he signed with the Vikings in 2018, he's had the 4th most touchdowns, the 4th most passing yards, the 6th most wins. He's had the 6th best passer rating, the 2nd best completion percentage, and the 5th most yards per attempt. Now, to people saying that, it's garbage time stats, I'd like to bring in another stat that I found really fascinating. Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVP. You might like him, you might not like him. I personally think he's an all right quarterback, but I don't like him as a person. That's beside the point. Anyway, where's my stats that I found that was very interesting? Because when facing elimination from playoff contention, Aaron Rodgers has lost 4 games and only won 1 game. Kirk Cousins has won 4 games and only lost 2 games. So Aaron Rodgers' win percentage in these games are 20%. Kirk Cousins, 66%. Now, my next stats. You're probably going to get really bored of numbers by the end of this, but here we go. I've come prepared, so appreciate it for me, please. So 2018, we went 8-7-1, But was that really on Kirk? He got 22.5 points per game. The defense let up 21.3 points per game, so it was a close season. Those games could have gone either way. You stop a touchdown, you win another game, then you're 9-6-1 or you're 9-6, whatever. I don't know. Just my thoughts. Then the next one, 10-6, we reached the playoffs. We had the 8th best points per game rate and the 5th best points points allowed stat in 2019. So pretty good season overall for the Vikings. But this is where it goes downhill, really. So 2020, at this time, Gary Kubiak is the offensive coordinator. Vikings go 7-9 with the Vikings offense being ranked 11th for points per game, 26.9 points per game. It's 430 points on the season. The defense, 29.7 points per game. That's ranked 29th. Then the next year we go 8-9. Kirk Cousins leads the Vikings offense to 25 points per game. And Mike Zimmer's, supposed great defense is ranked 24th with 25.1 points per game. So those 2 seasons alone, 2020 more, you can see that the defense is the problem. The offense isn't the problem. It's borderline top 10 offense when it comes to points per game. And then this season, you know, the defense is ranked 28th for points per game, 25.1. Kirk Cousins, you know, points per game, 24.9. It's less, but, you know, in comparison to the rest of the teams, it's 8th. So why can't Kirk get the MVP award? You know, since it's come to the Vikings, statistically, he's been, you know, a top 10 quarterback. And hot take, I don't think there's many quarterbacks that can fit the ball into places that Kirk Cousins can and feed Justin Jefferson week in, week out. You know, who's got the accuracy? You know, you can say, oh, what about Lamar? But realistically, his accuracy, he is not as accurate as Kirk Cousins. The only two quarterbacks I would say that are accurate as Kirk Cousins are Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's, you know, coming close to retirement. And the chances of the Vikings getting Patrick Mahomes, you know, you're probably going to have to surrender the next 10 years of first round picks for Patrick Mahomes, aren't you, at the end of the day? So that's just me waffling. And I just wanted to unleash my my love for Kirk Cousins on this podcast.
All right, Gerson, how do you feel about that Kirk Cousins propaganda right there?
I mean, you know, pretty solid. I mean, he gave his evidence, he gave his research. I do think the MVP thing with Aaron Rodgers, I think isn't MVP a regular season thing. I mean, you know, Aaron Rodgers, you know, he is a known, you know, not that guy in the playoffs. But you know, yeah, I do see Kirk being top 10, but him fitting into like top 5, top 3, no. I just don't think that's understandable. I'm not going to say something like, oh, Daniel Jones is better than Kirk Cousins, because he's not. Daniel Jones, most of his career, he's been, you know, people have been calling him, oh, is he a potential bust? I don't think he's the, you know, franchise quarterback of the Giants. Daniel Jones is having a career year this year. Yeah, that's known. But is he on the level as Kirk? Definitely not. As much as I do, you know, want to hate, I have to agree, you know, Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, but I don't see him being inside maybe top 7. I think he will remain top 10.
Okay. Roderick, how do you feel about Gerson's take?
If you want me to be realistic, I mean, he's right. I mean, Kirk Cousins is definitely a top 10 quarterback. But, you know, if you want me to be delusional, I mean, there are some quarterbacks who, in my heart, I would definitely take Kirk Cousins over. We've already talked about guys like Matthew Stafford, who at this point is just washed. Dak Prescott is another one of those guys. But I think at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins has a chance to be a top 5 quarterback any given Sunday. He's had games where he's just looked like an absolute stud. He's also had some duds. But if you look at Kirk Cousins' body of work throughout his career, he's consistently been in, like, I don't want to say, actually, no, I am going to say he's consistently been in the elite group of quarterbacks. So to say that he's not in the MVP conversation is a little bit asinine, because you look at his numbers, you look at how he plays, he can carry a team. So, yeah. I also think that you can win a Super Bowl with him, which is probably a big factor for being an MVP. You don't see too many MVPs where, you know, they can't lead a franchise to at least a deep postseason run. So there's also that. But yeah.
Can I just jump in? Because I have a feeling that the argument that he gets carried by Justin Jefferson is going to come up. And, you know, yeah, obviously you cannot say that Justin Jefferson does not play an impact in the career that Kirk Cousins has had the last couple of years. But at the end of the day, you know, we've had other guys step up when Justin Jefferson hasn't been targeted much. You know, KJ Osborne, Adam Thielen. And before Justin Jefferson arrived, you know, yeah, we had Stephon Diggs, but, you know, he was still putting up these numbers before Justin Jefferson and before he came to the Vikings, you know, when he was at Washington. So he doesn't get carried, in my opinion. He carries the team. And when you're playing on a team that statistically has had some of the worst defenses in the last 3 years, and to be still putting up these stats, you know, where does the conversation start, you know?
Okay, I think that is definitely fair. But then if you look at the other side here, like I say before, in a big spot, let's be real here. Kirk Cousins, what's Kirk Cousins' record in the playoffs? Does anyone want to tell me, even though I already know? Roger, can you tell me, his under
I believe
500
it's
record?
he's 1-2. I
He's
think.
1-3.
Actually, I was going to chime in. He's actually 1-1 because he made the playoffs one time in Washington where they got walloped by Green Bay. Oh, no. Actually, you're right. It's 1-2. Yeah, he made the playoffs in Washington once, then made the playoffs with Minnesota one time where they beat the overrated New Orleans Aints. I call them the Aints because that franchise is poverty. And then they ended up losing to a superior Niners team, which, in all fairness, they did fare better against San Francisco than Green Bay did. So I guess that's something.
Okay, so basically, he has played in like 4 games. He did technically play like 2 with Washington, but he was like a backup in the whole RG3 situation then. So I'm not going to really count that. I will say 1 and 2. Yeah, I think I can see like that other side of the argument because see, Avi says 1 and 3, but I can't see the other side of the argument because when you look at a quarterback, you want to see him in a big spot, and like the whole Aaron Rodgers argument, that is definitely fair. But the thing is, Rodgers has a ring. Let's be real here. Rodgers, he has a ring. So you can't take that away from the guy. But I do agree that Kirk Cousins, I don't know if I would say top 5. I don't know if I would say that. I think he's definitely probably in that, maybe the highest I'd put him is probably 7, maybe 6. I'd have to look at it. But, Kirk Cousins, look, he's going to either show up one game or he's going to complete dud. So, I mean, you never know. He's very unpredictable. And now I just want to get into that here. So basically, the Giant, Weston, go on.
So I was going to chime in on what Sam was saying about the Kirk propaganda. And I'm saying propaganda. So I'm going to chime in a few things here. So when I'm a guy that looks at which QB's which, I don't really like looking at just statistics. I'm going to tell y'all one thing. Yes, numbers definitely do not lie. However, numbers don't tell the full story. And ever since someone told me that perspective, I've looked at things a whole lot differently. So when I forgot who said it, that said that Kirk was better than Stafford, definitely agree. Like Stafford was the guy where, heck, it happened last year against the Vikings. Like Stafford had like 3 picks around 100 yards for a QB, which is terrible. And then the fourth quarter, he finally turns up. There was a touchdown here and there. So Kirk really never has garbage time. Like last year, every single game, well, outside of 3, and one of them had Sean Mannion under QB, so that one doesn't count, was all 1-score possessions. They were losses, most of them, but 1 score. In 1-score games, there's no way in the name of Jesus Christ himself that's stat padding, because the media likes to run off, garbage in primetime. But when he wins in primetime, it wasn't him. It was a team victory. Like the Monday night game against Seattle, Kirk had one of the best games of his life. But the supposed defense led up 400 yards. Stephon Diggs had stone hands for a couple of plays, which led to a Quandre Diggs pick. And then I'm going to go all the way back to his tenure with the Redskins. He had a Monday night game against the Dallas Cowboys. Kirk was about to get a game-winning drive, but Deshaun Jackson decided to run 10 yards backwards, and once he got tackled, he fumbled the ball, and that gave the Cowboys possession and a touchdown. I mean, Kirk led the game-tying touchdown, but at the end of the day, you got to look at the full 60 minutes rather than just the statistics, if you know what I mean. Because if you do the full 60-minute, like the eye test, yeah, a lot of the Kirk stuff is just kind of trash from what the media is saying. And yes, Kirk definitely would be either number 7 or number 6 in the top 10 list. That's all I had to say.
Okay, yeah, I definitely I pretty much agree with all of those points. So now just moving on to the Giants here real quick. So I think we all remember this scenario, and this, we know what happened after that. QB sneak on third. I don't even want to get into it, but, and we got this fan right here, fans like that. Literally, I just want to, mention how big of a change, this regime, it's been really, really good. We went from Dave Gettleman and his, disaster. Don't even let me get into that guy. When, we shouldn't have even let him retire, in my opinion. We should have fired him, not let him retire and, get to take pictures with people. But I digress, whatever. But, in the Joe Judge era, and then the whole free medium Pepsi stuff like that. It's just asinine. But it's nice to see how Dable and Joe have basically turned this team around. And me personally, I don't think that we don't have anything to lose as the Giants. We don't, because coming into this year, nobody was picking us to make the playoffs. Nobody, raise your hand if you thought the Giants were going to go to the playoffs this year, being realistic. Exactly. So, point proven. Nobody thought that. I thought maybe at most the Giants would get 7 wins, maybe at most if they get lucky. But no, they are in the playoffs, and that is nice to see. So now when you look at it here, this season is already a success for us. It is, because we weren't picked to be here. For the Vikings, on the other hand, Roderick, I know you do have some expectations. So can you just, refresh everyone on those expectations for the Vikings?
I don't really have any of my own expectations, but I think my expectations latch on to our superstar wide receiver. And he met with, I believe it was the Minnesota Press some other day in this week. He said Super Bowl or bust. I know in the group chat, some people are expecting Super Bowl or bust. I know people in the media think, oh, the Vikings are going to win the Super Bowl, they're going to get blown up by 40. I know that this is a boomer bust team. If you look at last year, who won the ring last year? The Rams, right? What did everybody say about the Rams last year? They were a boomer bust team, and look what happened. So I could point even more similarities to the Rams, but I won't do that right now. But this team is something special. As Weston said, it's would have been one of the most fun seasons to watch, and I don't think it ends right here.
Okay. Alex, do you have any more notes you want to go over?
I don't have any specific notes that I want to go over, but I just want to say that I kind of agree. Not agree with because I know I'm not a Vikings fan, but I will agree that this Giants season has been kind of fun to watch. There have been some like ups and downs, but I feel like us going 9-7-1, making the playoffs this year was really fun to watch. Apart from the other moments where we've had games we could have won and stuff, and we lost those, but we still made the playoffs, and I think I'm pretty happy about that. And I just want to say that this will definitely be also a fun game to watch too.
Yeah, exactly. Avi, before we get into everyone's score predictions, do you have any takes?
All right. Daniel Jones take here. And I'm saying, I might have to say, like how Alex said, 300 yards by KG. Daniel Jones is going to throw 343 yards with an interception at halftime. That's mine. Yeah.
At halftime?
At halftime. It's going to be a garbage interception. You're going to just throw it up, and it's going to be a pick. That's what I did right there. Yup.
Avi, do you think what's your score prediction for this game, man? If that's the case, what's your score prediction?
All right. The score prediction is going to be 27-17. Giants win. Just like how I said, they're going to win by 10.
Wait.
You are so delusional. Oh my god.
You said 41-0.
No,
what do you mean?
You said Daniel Jones was going to throw 350 yards in the first half.
On
what planet?
I'm talking about the whole
what
game.
planet?
I'm talking about the whole game.
You said the first half.
Avi, you did say the first.
You said the first half.
I said he's gonna throw an interception in half. At half, he's gonna throw an interception.
Shut up,
three. You said 41-0.
Okay.
Bro, be for real. But
they're
not winning 41-0.
All right. Oh, they're not.
They're not winning 41-0.
No.
You're not winning 41-0.
Oh, put on something that we won't. Put on something that we won't win.
You still own push-ups. I'm not putting anything on the line.
I'm doing it before this video ends. I'm saying right now. Put on something that we won't win by at least 30.
All right, I'll bet you $10. I'll bet you $10 that you won't win by 30.
Cool. Shake hands. Done. Don't care.
Right. Roderick, you're just giving up money doing that, but because
I have it right there. I can forego $10, even though I won't be foregoing $10.
You're not winning 41-0. You're not.
Mm-hmm. All
Let's
right.
be real here. No, you're not. You are not.
I'm being 100% dead serious.
Right. Everything is clipped. Like I said, you will end.
Yeah, everything is clipped.
Yeah. We don't have anything to lose here. The Giants.
No, you do, because no. Let me rant right quick. Because I sent you the screenshots. I'll send it to the group chat after this video for Sam and Weston. The Giants fans and the Giants players have been talking endless amounts of crap about us. The media has picked. Everybody's picking the Giants to win. Colin Cowherd, that idiot, talking about the Giants are going to go into Minnesota and upset the Vikings. Freaking Skip Bayless's brain dead self talking about the Giants are going to go in and beat the Vikings. Yo, the media, the players, and the Giants fans are so arrogant. They think that we're frauds, which you can't say the F word around me. I also have to, I have to one to you. But anyway, this is going to be a blowout. This isn't going to be a close game. We're probably not going to have to do a second half stream, and I'll be going to owe me $10. And the group chat's going to go nuts. We're going to celebrate, and we're going to beat the Niners, then beat the Eagles, then beat the Bills, and then win a chip. Simple, easy.
Okay, so you want to bring up the media? Okay, that sure you can say that, but when you look at guys like Stephen A, he doesn't think the Giants are winning. Christopher Mad Dog Russo, he doesn't think we're winning. So
Oh wait, we're talking about notorious Kirk Cousins hater Stephen A. Smith.
No,
that's what we're talking about right now.
No. Stephen A. Smith has been giving Kirk a lot of credit this week. He's been giving him.
It took him about 5 years. It took him about 5 years. I mean, everywhere you look, everywhere you look, it's Giants. It's Giants. People sending me the pancake thing on TikTok today, talking about let me make my wild card, whatever that dumb TikTok was. Like, people really don't watch that. People that don't watch this team are gonna call us frauds. But I think Weston, I think Sam could attest. This team is something special. This team is going to win playoff games this year, and when it happens, don't jump on the bandwagon. Don't say, I knew the Vikings were going to be this team the whole time. No, because everybody, their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, and their great-great-grandma has been saying that the Vikings are going to be fraudulent and we're not going to do anything in the playoffs. So please, save this clip when we come back, destroy the Giants, destroy the Niners, and destroy the Eagles, and then the Bills one more time. Because I'm done. Before I start yelling.
Okay, but like I said, we don't have anything to lose here. So if you
you do. No, we don't. I'm so sorry.
What do the Giants have to lose? What do we have to lose?
You've been so arrogant. Yeah, go ahead, Weston. Talk to me.
Yeah,
okay. So I'm gonna kind of play both sides of the coin. I'm gonna go New York and I'm gonna go Minnesota. I mean, no matter who wins this game, I don't think any franchise in this situation has anything to lose. And let me explain why. Okay, I'm gonna start off with the New York side. Okay. And I think all the Giants fans are going to agree. Like, you did bring up the QB sneak on 3rd and 9 on the final week of the regular season last year. If I'm going to be honest with you, yes, that one. I think deep down that actually may have been the best thing that's happened to the Giants in quite some time. I'm going to explain why. It actually shows. So I think Joe Judge last year was definitely on the chopping block, but that play right there confirmed, yep, get the heck out of here. You're done. And, of course, Dave Gettleman, yes, he retired, but at the end of the day, he's finally gone. So the Giants hired Dable. They actually can work some things if the new GM decides to fix all of Gettleman's mess. So at the end of the day, even if the Giants do lose this game, like, they could have something going within the next few years if the new GM, I don't know who you guys' GM is, plays his cards correctly. But I will say, like, everyone says, O'Connell or Dable. I say you could pick either answer. Like, both coaches have the culture shift in New York and Minnesota. And
O'Connell. Sorry.
It's gonna. I mean, sure, yeah, I'll go O'Connell because I'm a little biased here. But everyone needs to give Dable his credit. Okay, like, he literally took Walmart cashiers and Target cart assistants, and he took them to the playoffs. Well, not named Saquon Barkley, of course. All right, and now on the Minnesota flip side, like, yes. People are saying boom or bust, but I'm going to tell you one thing. We are free from the Mike Zimmer era, and we are finally free of the Rick Spielman era. You can say whatever you want. This man's drafting was god-awful. Everyone's going to go, oh, but he picked Justin Jefferson. Didn't he give you Stephon Diggs? Yeah, mother fricker. A broken clock is right twice a day. He also drafted Christian Ponder and Laquan Treadwell, and he drafted Sharif Floyd. Now we got Kwesi Adesina. I can't even say his name. Golly. All right. But he traded TJ Hawkinson for basically nothing. He brought in Zadarius Smith when he originally was supposed to go to Baltimore, finding Duke Shelley, who was a gem from Chicago's practice squad out of nowhere. So even if Minnesota does not win the Super Bowl this year, guess what? Still a bright future ahead. The cap situation is going to get fixed. Kevin O'Connell is definitely going to improve that offense a lot. Ed Donatello's going to get fired. I'm looking at that coordinator from the Rams, who I think would be legit. Or if you want to go Denver, just pick up Vic Fangio. He might be at the Walmart parking lot in Denver down the road trying to find a job. Who knows? But yeah, I say no matter what happens, both franchises really have nothing to lose. Both franchises are going to go nowhere but up. And that's my take on both New York and Minnesota.
I'm just gonna applaud that real quick because that was really good. So before I ask everyone else their score predictions, Roderick, I'm gonna still have a beef with you real quick, because like I said, we don't have anything to lose. But the Vikings, okay, like Weston said, maybe the Vikings don't, but you do. You have a lot to lose, and we did talk about it. Roderick, we all know your delusional takes in school. We know what you say. We know how you act. We know what type of fan you are. And so, like I said, we're all keeping receipts. We're all ready. Don't let us win this game, or you're gonna end up blocking every single one of us. And you know it. And you know it. You know it. You are not going to be able to show your face in school anymore. You're not going to be able to do any of that. So I know you're praying that you do win this game and you did admit that you are scared. So I don't know where this whole 41-0 rhetoric is coming from. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I'm not scared.
Do we need to pull up the clip? Do I want to with you being like I have so much to lose. I used to be a Washington fan.
I do. I have a lot to lose, but that does not mean I'm scared.
Oh, so you're
right?
not scared?
No.
For your sake? So let's say if we win, what's going to happen? What are you going to do?
Absolutely nothing. I'm just going to take it.
Oh, you're going to take it? You're going to take it?
Pause. Pause. Damn it. No, pause. But, yeah, I'm going to take the loss as a growing young man.
So you're going to be humbled. All right.
But here's the thing. That's not going to happen. So I'm all right.
Okay. All
like
right.
I said, you got the purple on purple jerseys coming out. The bank is going to be rocking. The group chat's going to be on fire. And this is just a perfect storm. First playoff game at home since the Minneapolis Miracle. It's not much more you can want. And I get to dunk on everybody at school. I mean, what more could I ask for? Honestly.
Well, I mean, if you want to, get on everyone at school, I mean, like, that doesn't really matter to us because, one, you're like the only Viking fan in school. Two, like I said before, we weren't supposed to be here, so we're not going to really – if we lose, like –
No, but oh, my gosh. I remember – I think it might have been Sam, but someone sent a post the NFL posted to the group chat, and it was just the comments flooded with Giants fans. Oh, McKinney and Adore are going to lock up JJ. All this talk. You guys barely got here. You guys need a reality check because you're not as good as you think you are. But I'm done.
We made
final
it,
score
though.
predictions. Congrats. You're going to get blown out on Sunday. Final predictions. Vikings 30, Giants 13, and I'm done.
Avi, real quick, I see you disagree with that.
I thought he said it was going to be 41-0. I thought that was what our bet was. So that's what I thought he was going to pick. But my score is going to be 24-14 Giants win.
Okay. Sam, what's your score prediction for this game?
I'm going to go 27-20 Vikings just because one-score game, and that's what we seem to be masters at.
Okay. Weston, you didn't give a score prediction, so.
Very true. So like I said, I think I'm going to be a little similar to Sam's, but I'm going to say 27-19. I think it's going to be an 8-point game because mostly if the defense does their thing, they're going to bend but not break. Isn't you guys' kicker? I'm trying to remember. Isn't it Graham Gano? Like Gano's probably going to get most of your guys' points. Like I think you guys get one touchdown, but at the end of the day, Gano's going to hit. How many is that? Oh yeah, 4 field goals because Gano is definitely a weapon when it comes to the leg. Like there's absolutely no denying that he's been a sharpshooter with his leg throughout his entire career. Like even when he was on Carolina, like didn't he hit like a 60-some yarder against the Giants back when he was a Panther? Like I'm telling you, like if you give Gano the good field position to get those points, that's definitely going to happen. But at the end of the day, Minnesota's offense will indeed click. It's not going to come down to Greg the Leg this time. like I said, it's going to come down to one final drive. And like I said, intercepted by either Patrick Peterson or Karen Bynum. But yeah, my final score, 27-19.
Okay. Gerson, what is your score prediction for this game?
I think week 16, I mean, we outgained them by 92 yards. I think Saquon's going to have a dominant game, and I think the Giants are going to win, 27-24.
All right. Alex, what is your score prediction for this game?
Yeah, I was gonna just say 28-24 Giants for. I think we'll win against them. You know, I have confidence.
Okay. All right. So now it's down to me. Last time I did pick the Giants to win, and we did lose. So I have a decision to make here. I can pick Minnesota, or I can pick New York. Last time I did go off, and I was like, yeah, Giants are going to win. We're going to clinch our spot in the playoffs. Wow. I did all that. I was like, let's go. That didn't happen, though. So I'm going to take Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota 24-20. I am taking the Minnesota Vikings, beating the New York Giants, and then losing next week to the San Francisco 49ers. That's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen. Totally. Psych! No. I was just kidding. I am not picking against my team. The Giants are going to pull off the upset regardless of what Roderick says. I don't care. I'm going off again, but it doesn't matter because we are going to win this game. And Roderick, I'm going to if don't let us win this game because you will end up blocking me. I swear. You will end up blocking me. And I'm so too bad we weren't around during the 2000 season when we beat you guys 41-0 or whatever that score was, when you guys didn't even show up because you want to bring up, us getting blown out. Let me remind you of some history here because I know you don't like that, but we did blow you out in the playoffs. I'm just going to say that. So, Giants, we're going to win this game. We're going to
also bring up some other history. So we can also bring up the 1997 wild card game where the Giants had a 19-3 lead late in the third quarter, but of course they blew it. Allowed an onside kick to go Minnesota's direction, and Cunningham led down the field for a game-winning field goal to win 22-21 with I think it was 8 seconds left. But anyways, man, you almost had me saying, man, the man just wants a better draft pick. I respect that. Shoot, man. Right as I was about to say that, you just psyched the living hell out of me, man. Golly, bro.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We may have blew a lead, but let's be real here. Who has lost 4 Super Bowls? Roderick,
What was the last time you were in the playoffs?
We don't care about the playoffs. Yeah, no.
No. What did I ask you just now?
All right, 2016, since the boat trip. I'll give you that. Fine. But when was did you win a Super Bowl? Did you win a Super Bowl?
What happened the last time we played you?
What happened the last time you were in the Super Bowl?
What happened the last time before last time we played you?
Participation trophies? Do you want to do that? Is that what we're doing now? Seriously?
No, not really.
Okay.
No.
All right then.
I'm just saying.
What do you make the playoffs for? What do you make it for? The Super Bowl. You don't go there to make.
You haven't made the playoffs though. That's the issue. You can't win.
Okay, you haven't won anything. You don't have a ring.
We are the reigning, defending, undisputed NFL champions of 1969. All right.
Oh, of 1969. We're in the Super Bowl era, for crying out loud. Oh my God.
We're the last team to win an NFL championship. I mean, nobody can take that away from us.
You haven't done anything since.
Okay.
You've lost. You lost in the Super Bowl. All those. It's
That hurts, man. That absolutely hurts. It hurts. See, because reason why those 4 Super Bowl losses hurt. We had literally the first ever Michael Vick QB in the NFL, and that was Fran Tarkenton, arguably one of the greatest QBs in NFL history. The dude literally put running as a QB into the game. If you want to look at guys like Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson, it all goes back to Fran Tarkenton. And the fact that they had all those studs like John Randall and Alan Page and all those guys on the Purple People Eater defense, they were favorites by 14, I think it was, in the first Super Bowl against the Chiefs, and they just got completely blown out the water. But can something change under Kevin O'Connell? I do think that first year will come. If the Philadelphia Eagles manage to get a championship, if the Seattle Seahawks managed to get a championship. Keep in mind, those were poverty franchises before guys like Nick Foles and Russell Wilson came into the picture. Let's ride.
Nick
I
Foles.
believe that Minnesota will indeed get a ring under Kevin O'Connell and under the Quincy Adolfo-Mensah tenure. It's going to happen. It may not be this year, but in a few years, I say give it 5 to 10 years. I think it's
It
definitely
will be this year. And I'll dye my hair purple. Yeah.
We did have an agreement that if the Vikings do win the Super Bowl, Roderick will dye his hair purple. Roderick, don't worry. You won't have to worry about that, though, because it's not happening. Now, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. We will be doing a live video here. As long as it's not a blowout in the second half, we will do it live. But if it is a blowout, probably not. It depends. If the Vikings are
We'll do a
blowing
post game show, right?
yeah, post game for sure. If the Vikings are blowing out the Giants, there's no way we're no.
Why
But-
not?
Because just no. Listen. 'cause
Whatever,
I'm-
Russell. Whatever,
the
Russell.
No,
Whatever.
because the Vikings. Now, let's say we're blowing you out. I'm still going to do it because you guys have came back before. So, I just want to be fair here. I don't see us, coming back 33 to. I don't see that happening. But you guys have done it before, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If we are magically, blowing you out, which is I don't think that's going to happen. But let's say it does, we'll still do it anyway because we've seen the Vikings come back. The Giants, they don't have that track record, so no. So does anyone have any last takes before we end this video? Roderick, your hand was up first, so you can go ahead.
Vikings in 4. That's it.
All right, Weston, what's your take?
So just like any final takes before this whole thing ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a Minnesota win. But like I said, Giants fans, even if you lose this game, you really have nothing to keep your head down for. Just if you lose, just take it as it is. At the end of the day, this was a phenomenal season. Yes, people could say that, but the Giants started off with a weak schedule. I mean, yes, that's the case. But at the same time, good teams don't lose those games in that supposed weak start schedule, okay? I mean, and you may have won a game because the refs handed you against Taylor Heineke. It doesn't really matter, in my opinion. Just Giants fans, no matter what the score is, keep your head up, and of course, Skol.
I'm just gonna actually add on to what Weston said there because, say you lose on Sunday, so you've got the entire off season. Well, personally, I think you should sort out your receiving core. I don't know what the consensus against Giant fans is, but Daniel Jones is that guy. Not gonna slag him off or anything. Daniel Jones is that guy, and I think your best, your receiver with the most receiving yards is 1,000 yards behind Justin Jefferson. And I'm not about to say go out and get your own Justin Jefferson, but you need to slide that receiving core, man, and then you'll be proper contenders. But hey, even if we lose or you lose, who's to say that if either team plays San Francisco in the next round? Yeah, they've got an amazing team, but Brock Purdy is unproven. He's had a great few games, but that's just riding on momentum. That the team has gained throughout the season. And, the belief that this Mr. Irrelevant wants to prove everyone wrong, but he's unproven in the playoffs. The playoffs are a stressful time. Is he going to choke? Either team, whether the Giants or the Vikings, if they were to play San Francisco in the next round. Wait, do you play San Francisco in the next round? Or who will you play?
We would
We play the
probably
Eagles.
face the Eagles.
Okay.
If San Francisco wins, it'll be San Francisco against Dallas or the Bucks, and then if we win, we'll go against the Eagles.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, well, I mean, we can say the same if you have to play the Eagles. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day. Let's just kind of hope one of us gets to the Super Bowl because that'll be an interesting It's like see if the Vikings or the Giants get through, considering everybody seems to think that neither team is going to get anywhere near the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Weston,
go ahead. Oh, sorry. I was gonna go back to Sam. So, Giants fans, you may kill me for this statement. Now, listen. Yes, Daniel Jones has had a great year. I don't think he's that guy just yet. Like, yes, he's had a pretty good season, and yes, the thing is, he can go nowhere but up because now he has an offensive mind like Dable, of course. To me, Daniel Jones needs to have more consistency within the next few seasons because, trust me, I've seen one-year wonders with QBs. Like, Brett Favre of Minnesota, he was amazing in 2009, but then he took a massive downward slope in 2010, and of course, he retired mid-season. But 1 year with Case Keenum, he was a legendary QB, and then, of course, he was garbage on Washington. He was garbage in Denver. So you guys can, talk about Daniel Jones all you want. Yes, he had a great season, but if you want me to think that Daniel Jones is that guy, he needs to do it the next season, and the next one, and the next one, and so on and so forth, okay? So I don't know what you guys think about my take on that, but yes, Jones, heck of a year, but I don't think he's that guy just yet until he proves he can repeat his success within the next few years. That's all I got to say on that.
Okay, real quick here. I do sort of agree with that, but I think for him to kind of like prove that some more, the Giants, like Sam said, are going to have to upgrade their receiving core because when you look at what he's been doing, I think basically the whole entire sentiment, of Daniel Jones being the guy this year and how fans are basically reacting well to him is probably because he's throwing guys like Richie James, Isaiah Hodgins. These guys are like practice squad receivers on any other team. So I think, the fact that he's doing it with them, I think a lot of people want to see how he's going to look like with a possible number one and, not a guy like Kenny Golladay who's getting paid all of that money. And he's just, just scored his first touchdown, against the Eagles. Daniel Jones, he needs a true number one. And then I do agree if he plays well with him, then we know for sure, he's the guy. Right now, I'm in the range of I think he is, but I would like to see what he can do with the number one, and I think he would be better. So, Avi, do you want to close this out here? Maybe hype everyone up real quick.
All right, Daniel Jones is gonna have at least 340 yards this game with 3 touchdowns.
Okay. I think we're gonna end it there. Roderick clearly disagrees with that. I don't know if I agree with it either. I don't think anybody does, to be honest. But hey, you never know. Oh, Alex with the Victor Cruz jersey. I do miss that guy. Too bad we don't have a receiver like that.
He needs to unretire and come back, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm tired of these target cashiers, bro. Like Weston said earlier, I'm tired of these people.
He probably would be the best receiver on the Giants right now, to be honest, so who knows? But if you can all do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please tune in for the live video that we are going to do because, Roderick, there will be a live video. You see Sam there with the Kirk Cousins jersey, Alex, Victor Cruz jersey, Monster jerseys all over the place. Eli Manning jersey. That guy's actually clutch in the playoffs. And then the greatest defensive player of all time over there, Roderick with his his Justin Jefferson jersey doing the score. I don't care. All right. And then Gerson with the Eli Manning jersey as well. Now, if you guys can do me a favor, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.